Insider.com. Insider, get the new Insider app. So today is Saturday, August 21st, 2021. I have a mosquito whirling around me and damn. But I'm gonna go ahead and read this article, interesting article, I think. Home travel. I took a 19-hour overnight Amtrak train. Here are 10 reasons traveling by train is better than flying. Frank Olito, August 20th, 2021. So this article was yesterday. Very recent, very hot, warm and hot and yummy. Amtrak. I rode 2 Amtrak trains when I visited Boston from New York. It was a great travel. I paid a lot. You don't have to necessarily buy fast train tickets. You can be just okay. You could be okay with slow train tickets. Amtrak trains have some benefits that planes don't. Shutterstock. Yep, I'm at the Cafe Silk Road. I'm staying at a guest house for the moment. So I'm gonna go ahead and read this like a 10-minute article. I took a 19-hour Amtrak train from New York to Chicago and realized there are benefits to train travel. I didn't have to wait in security lines or squeeze into a small seat. Train travel is also better for the environment. Visit Insider's homepage for more stories. A few weeks ago, I traveled from New York to Chicago on a 19-hour Amtrak ride. Yeah, looks good. Looks like a first class. The Amtrak room, Frank Olito Insider. Although I ultimately didn't think the journey was worth the $550 price tag, I did notice there were many benefits to train travel, especially when compared to flying. There were no long lines like those you see at airports. There aren't long security lines, Shutterstock. Depending on where you are flying, you usually have to arrive at the airport 2 or 3 hours before your flight takes off to allow enough time to get through long security lines. When it comes to train travel, you don't have to go through security or wait in long lines. You can arrive minutes before the departure time and get on the train quickly. This was my favorite part about traveling by train. I didn't have to worry about baggage limits when taking an Amtrak train. Baggage limits. Baggage limits. Amtrak is lenient about luggage. Good to know. Most airlines are strict about carry-on baggage. You can carry on only a specific size bag and one personal item. All other luggage must be checked and weighed, and you more often than not need to pay a fee. You also have to adhere to FAA guidelines about liquids and other items. FAA guidelines. Carry-on luggage, carry-on baggage, all other luggage. When traveling by train, I didn't have to worry about that. Amtrak allows you to carry on 2 bags that weigh less than 50 pounds and 2 personal bags that weigh less than 25 pounds. If you want to check your luggage and if it's available on your route, Your first 2 bags are free. Essentially, you can bring along 6 bags before having to shell out any extra cash. 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 I packed everything for a week-long trip in a carry-on and a backpack. In a carry-on and a backpack. I packed everything for a week-long trip. In a carry-on and a backpack. I packed everything for a week-long trip in a carry-on and a backpack. And I was completely worry-free. You feel less trapped on a train when compared to a flight. There's more freedom to move around on a train. I agree. And you can meet interesting people, maybe your future spouse. Whenever I am on a plane, I feel trapped. For the bulk of the trip, I am forced to stay in my seat and can really only get up to use the bathroom. If I want to stretch my legs, there's nowhere to go. If there's an unruly passenger, there's no way to avoid them. Unruly passenger. Yeah, if you get up to use the bathroom. I found the opposite to be true for train travel. You can walk the length of the train if you need to stretch your legs. You can head to the dining car to hang out for a bit. Dining car. The dining car. You can head to the dining car to hang out for a bit. And you can move to another car if someone is bothering you. On a train, you have options instead of just being tied to your assigned seat. You have options instead of just being tied to your assigned seat. Plus, you get more legroom on a train. Trains have more legroom. Coach seats on Amtrak trains have 39 inches of legroom space, whereas planes with major airlines provide between 28 and 32 inches to squish your legs into. To squish your legs into. Beyond coach, Amtrak also offers private rooms with more space to spread out. Beyond coach seats. Beyond coach. I booked a roomette for $550 for my journey. Roomette. That's good expression. I guess a small room. I booked a roomette for $550 for my journey. Amtrak roomettes measure 3 feet 6 inches by 6 feet 6 inches, and they fit 2 adults. Although it felt like a small room for 1 person, let alone 2, it was still significantly better than the small seat I would get on a plane. Let alone 2, 3 feet 6 inches by 6 feet 6 inches. The dining car and the flexibility to eat whenever you want is one of the best parts of the Amtrak train. An Amtrak Dining Car, Jeffrey Greenberg, Universal Images Group, Get Images. On a plane, you have to wait for a flight attendants to serve drinks and snacks. To serve drinks and snacks. To serve drinks and snacks. If you are in one of the unlucky rows, you could be one of the last people to get food. However, on Amtrak, there is a dining car and a snack car. A dining car and a snack car, which means you can get up whenever you want and help yourself to food. Help yourself to food and help yourself to food. Help yourself to food. Help yourself to food. Help yourself to food. Although I found the food to be less than desirable on the train, the dining car is still a great way to get out of your seat and get a change of scenery, something that is impossible to do on an airplane. On a plane, get out of your seat and get a change of scenery, and get a change of scenery, and get a change of scenery. There are amazing landscapes you could miss if you flew to your destination. Long-haul Amtrak rides aren't for everyone. When traveling by train, you get to see beautiful landscapes. 1 hour you can be looking out onto endless farmland, and then a few hours later you could see mountains in the distance. 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 When I took my 19-hour ride, I loved passing time by just staring out the window and watching the changing landscape. Changing landscape. By comparison, all you see for most of a plane journey are clouds. Clouds. By comparison, all you see for most of a plane journey are clouds. Traveling by train is a great way to slow down, especially if you are going to have a busy vacation. Train travel is a great way to slow down. When I go on vacation, I always try to find the quickest route so I can get to my destination as soon as possible. After traveling for several hours, I usually arrive tired and jet-lagged, and then I have to force myself to keep going throughout the rest of my trip. Though the 19 hours on the train was long, it helped me relax and ease into the vacation mindset, squish mindset. By comparison, I arrived at my destination relaxed and calm. The train ride allowed me to approach the trip differently. Some people may not feel ready to board a plane yet because of the coronavirus pandemic, but I thought traveling by train was a great alternative. I wore a face mask on the train. Although the air on planes is circulated and filtered, making it harder for viruses to spread, I still felt safer on the Amtrak train. What? Then on a plane. Wait a minute. I thought the airplane is the virus hotspot because the air circulates so fast, so quickly throughout the airplane. Yeah, I was looking out the window because it's raining outside and hear the noisy sound from the gutters. It is like a quick shower several times a day so far. So we have a sudden I don't know, flashy runoff from the rooftops. Although the air on planes is circulated and filtered, making it harder for viruses to spread, I still felt safer on the Amtrak train than on a plane. Most Amtrak train stations are outside, so I was able to wait outdoors instead of waiting in line at an airport and increasing my chances of exposure to the virus. While the CDC does not recommend long distance train travel because of how long passengers may be within 6 feet of one another, I was able to book a roomette, so I was sectioned off from the majority of people on the trip. Something I couldn't do on a plane. Something I couldn't do on a plane. So I was sectioned off from the majority of people on the trip. So I was sectioned off from the majority of the people on the trip. Additionally, if someone was coughing near me on the train, I would have more freedom to get up and move away from that person, putting my mind at ease, putting my mind at ease. On a plane, I would be trapped next to the person for the entire flight. Exactly. Amtrak is a great option for some people with certain health issues. It's great for certain people with health issues. Sometimes people with a history of stroke, respiratory diseases, or who are in the later weeks of pregnancy are advised not to fly by their doctors. Train travel can be the perfect safe alternative for those people. Traveling by train is better for the environment. Amtrak trains are better for the environment. How? When it comes to carbon emissions and harmful greenhouse gases, planes most always emit more than trains, usually by a lot. Usually by a lot, really. Carbon emissions and harmful greenhouse gases. Carbon emissions and harmful greenhouse gases. For example, on a train between London and Madrid would produce 95 pounds of carbon dioxide, while a plane between the two cities would emit 260 pounds, according to the BBC. Fuck that, that's a lot. Those carbon emissions and the harmful greenhouse gases produced by the planes, well, by a lot. So obviously, a train ride has many benefits. When I go visit the United States again, I would ride the train a lot. I like the train ride from New York to Boston because you get to see a lot of interesting sceneries, like I don't know, Hamilton, Harrisburg, what else? New Hampshire, Boston, Rutherford. I don't know. I heard about the cities a lot when I studied English while I was a student. Harrisburg, I think. Red Hamilton, Redford. I saw cemeteries just next to the train tracks. I saw beautiful bays, maybe, or peninsulas, or lagoons. on the right side when I headed to Boston. So train rides were amazing. I would like to travel from New York to Los Angeles by car. But when I come back to New York from California, maybe I will take a train ride from San Francisco to New York, and I don't have to squish my legs. Yeah, let's go back and try to memorize uh, the expressions that I picked up from this article. Squish your legs. By comparison, carbon dioxide, carbon emissions, and harmful greenhouse gases. By a lot. By a lot. I was sectioned off from the people on the train, ease into the vacation mode. When I go on vacation, not go on a vacation, go on vacation. When I go on vacation, you see mountains in the distance, A change, the change of scenery, Yeah, mindset, squish, roommate, that's good expression. Roommate, small room for two adults. Roommate, coughing, filtered. Uh, yeah, it takes some time, but yeah, those expressions I remembered, but I missed several expressions. Let's go back, see what expressions I missed. Yeah, security lines, indoor, outdoor. Amtrak, flying, by comparison, long lines, security lines, baggage, luggage, weighed. Your baggage needs to be weighed. Carry-ons, baggage limits, guidelines, FAA guidelines. You need to adhere to FAA guidelines, checked and weighed. All other luggage must be checked and weighed. A week-long trip. For a week-long trip. Stretch my legs. Unruly passenger. Unruly. Unruly passenger. On a train, you have options. Assigned seat, coach. Okay, squeeze your legs into beyond coach. Roommate, I booked a roommate. A dining car, a snack car, a dining car, a snack car, a dining car or snack car. Pregnancy, get food. Snacks, serve snacks, drinks. Serve drinks and snacks. Okay? Less than desirable. Although I found the food to be less than desirable on the train, there are amazing landscapes you could miss if you flew to your destination. When I took my 19-hour ride, I loved passing time by just staring out the window and watching the changing landscape. Traveling by train is a great way to slow down. When I go on vacation, relaxed and calm. What great alternative. Hello. I wore a face mask on the train. Oh, so you're Frank Olito, okay? Insider. You look young. You invite me over and we travel together, man. Yeah, I'm Korean, but yeah, you look okay. I could teach you one thing or two about life, about anti-cancer touch walk, or about 5 animal frolics, or the Avatar course. Coughing, coughing, coughing. Trapped. Sometimes people with a history of stroke, respiratory diseases, or who are in the later weeks of pregnancy, with a history of stroke, carbon emissions and harmful greenhouse gases. So thanks Inside.com and Olito. You are Olito, right? Frank Olito. Sounds like a Greek to me. Frank Olito. Are you Greek American or I don't know, Turkish? Sounds like a Greek. Yeah, I've been to Athens and Santorini 4 years ago. So I like Greece. Okay, that's it for today's daily reading. Thanks for listening and take care.